Welcome back to the streets where we keep it real and only shop at Suburban. My name's Urban Mahoney, and today we are reviewing Scream. Scream released on December 20th, 1996, and was directed by Wes Craven. Scream, previously titled Scary Movie, went through multiple production troubles. They only got worse when the MPA gave it an NC-17 rating multiple different times. After finally getting into theaters, Scream released 5 days before Christmas. It didn't do that well on its opening week, but it ended up staying in theaters for almost 5 months, making it a classic now. Scream, or the Ghostface costume, is now a cultural juggernaut. This Halloween, I saw multiple young kids wearing the Ghostface outfit. They didn't even know what movie it was from. This is the first episode in my Scream rewatch series that I am calling Creaming for Scream. In this series, we will be reviewing a new Scream entry every week until Scream 7 comes out. I have a lot more to say later, but for now, I think it's time to get creaming. We open up with a girl named Casey Becker getting a phone call from a wrong number, so she hangs up to cook some popcorn. But she gets another call from the same person, and they talk about movies. When the guy gets a little too creepy, Casey hangs up, but he calls back, this time extremely hostile, and tells Casey to look outside, and when she does, she sees her boyfriend tied up. So Casey plays a game to save her and her boyfriend's life. Casey gets a question wrong, and her boyfriend dies, and we see the guy on the phone break into her house in a black robe and a ghostly white mask. Casey runs outside, and the guy chases her and eventually kills her. But in her final moment, she's able to take off his mask, but we don't see who's underneath. Casey's parents get home to find the house destroyed and Casey's body hanging on a tree. We meet Sydney Prescott and her sneaky boyfriend Billy Loomis as Sydney's dad walks in and he tells Sydney that he's leaving for the weekend. After Sydney's dad leaves, Billy tries to get freaky, but Sydney stops him, so he leaves. At school the next morning, Sydney and her best friend Tatum notice that there's a heavy police presence because of Casey's death. Sydney is brought to the principal's office to talk about Casey, and we meet Tatum's older brother, Officer Dewey Riley. Later that day, we meet Sydney's friend group, consisting of her boyfriend Billy, her best friend Tatum, Tatum's boyfriend Stu Mocker, and movie enthusiast Randy Meeks. Sydney gets home and decides to watch some TV, and she sees reporter Gail Weathers talking about the tragic death of Sydney's mom, Maureen Prescott, so Sydney takes a nap. That night, Sydney wakes up to a call from Tatum saying she's on her way to pick her up to spend the night at her house, and after Sydney hangs up, she gets a call from the creepy phone guy, and he tells Sydney that he's on her front porch, but when she looks, he's not there. The guy pops out behind Sydney and almost gets her, but Sydney fights him off and is able to contact the police, and the guy disappears just as Billy comes through the window and drops his cell phone on the ground. So Sydney runs outside to meet the cops, and Billy gets arrested, and Sydney goes to the police station. After Sydney answers some questions, Sydney and Tatum go outside the police station, and Gail is there and tries to question Sydney, but Sydney punches Gail. At Tatum's house, Sydney gets a call from the creepy guy, and we cut to the next morning, and Dewey tells Sydney that Billy was released. At school, Sydney questions Gail about Cotton Weary and why she thinks he wasn't the person that killed her mother. Later in the hallway, Sydney runs into Billy and tells him that she's sorry about accusing him. And then when Sydney is in the bathroom, she sees someone in the stall wearing the killer's outfit, and it is him. And they have an altercation, but Sydney gets away. We see Dewey and Gail flirting as they hear over this school intercom that school has been canceled and a curfew will be put in place. As they leave, Stu invites Sydney and Tatum to a party he's going to throw, and they agree to going to the party. As we cut back to the school, and we see the killer killing the principal. We see Sydney and Tatum talking about the possibility of Cotton being innocent, and at the video store, Stu and Randy chat about Billy being innocent or guilty, so Billy and Stu mess with Randy. Sydney and Tatum go grocery shopping, and the killer stalks them as Dewey talks to his superior and finds out that the calls have been coming from Sydney's dad. That night, everyone gets to Stu's house for the party, and we see Dewey and Gail going inside to watch it over the party, and Gail plants a camera. Tatum goes to the garage to get drinks and is surprised by the killer, and then he chases her, and Tatum's killed by the garage door. Billy gets to the party, and he and Sydney go upstairs and get freaky as we cut to Randy explaining the rules to horror movies. Rule number 1, never have sex, because sex equals death. Rule number 2, don't drink alcohol or do drugs. And lastly, rule number 3, Never, under any circumstances, say, "I'll be right back." Dewey and Gail go investigate a car in the bushes as we cut back to Randy, and he gets a call about the principal's death, and so everyone leaves. Dewey and Gail find the car, and it's Sydney's dad's, so they rush back to Stu's house. We see Sydney and Billy after their display of affection, and Sydney asks Billy about his one phone call, and his answer makes her suspicious, just as Ghostface appears behind Billy and stabs him. And then, Ghostface chases Sydney, so she jumps out of a window, and when she gets up, she sees Tatum's body. We see Ghostface sneak up behind Randy, but he gets distracted by Sydney, and when Sydney tries to get help from Gail's cameraman, Ghostface kills him and Sydney narrowly escapes. Dewey goes inside Stu's house and Gail finds her cameraman's body before crashing into a tree. Sydney finds Dewey after he's been stabbed by Ghostface, and Sydney has another altercation with Ghostface. Sydney finds Stu and Randy and they're both acting crazy, so she locks them outside as Billy falls down the stairs and he gets Sydney's gun and lets Randy in before shooting him. Sydney tries to run away, and she runs into Stu, as it's revealed that Billy and Stu are the killers, and that they framed Cotton Weary for the murder of Sydney's mom, and that it was them that did it, because Sydney's mom was the reason Billy's family broke up. Stu brings out Sydney's dad and reveals that they're going to frame him for everything, as we see Billy and Stu beat up each other to make it look like they are survivors. Stu realizes the gun is missing, and we see Gail holding it, but Billy easily overpowers her. But before he can pull the trigger, Sydney and her dad disappear. Sydney calls Billy and Stu using their voice changer, and then Sydney attacks Billy while wearing the Ghostface outfit. Then Sydney drops the TV on Stu's head. Randy wakes up just as Billy attacks Sydney, and then Gail shoots Billy, and Sydney double taps him as Sydney's dad comes out. It's now morning, and we see Dewey's alive and being put in an ambulance, and Gail, Randy, and Sydney are the survivors, as we cut to credits. Well, welcome to General Thoughts. For the first time ever on this channel, I have no negatives. So, we might as well call this... I absolutely love this movie. The cast of characters are amazing, and the whodunit style is always welcome. I also love Matthew Lillard as Stu Macher. I especially love him after he's revealed to be one of the Ghostface. One of the things I love most about Ghostface is how human he feels. When Ghostface is coming after you, he's just a human. He doesn't have an invisible force powering him like Jason or Michael, and I just love that about him. I also find this movie in particular very rewatchable, and the Scream franchise as a whole is my favorite horror franchise. I think you get the point. So, it's time for... Well, there's not much to say, so here it is. I give Scream 5 stars out of 5, and the Urban Production slate. Yep, that's right. 2 movies in a row got the production slate. Sue me. That video explaining it will be coming out sometime in the next 2 or 3 months. This movie shaped horror, and it made me fall in love with the genre. I just have to thank this movie. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week with my review of Scream 2. And as always, keep your mental up. This is Urban Mahoney, clocking out.